Hey, what's up? My name is Noe with Millennial Threadz, located here in Whittier, California, and we offer everything from embroidery, custom t-shirts, banners, stickers, you name it, we do it all and much more. If you want to do any work with us, please send us a message on our IG and we'll get back to you ASAP. And in this video, we'll show you how we get our custom hats done here using our forehead embroidery machine.
So, Noe, forehead embroidery machine. How long have you been offering this?
I've been offering services with our embroidery machine now for a little over a year and a half. So we've been growing,
And how'd you get this customer?
This customer is in a local band here, a local grupo here, and they've been working with me for quite some time now. So it's pretty much like a repeat order,
All right, man. What's the first step?
First step, we gotta get our hats and hoop them.
Now, when it comes to hats, is there a specific brand they ask for, or is there a specific brand you suggest or only want to work with?
Typically, like the very first time, they order, different brands, different hats, and then ultimately they decide which one they want to go to. Like for them, they like the Yupong, it's a Yupong 5-panel hat with the green underbrim.
Wait, are they those?
Those are different ones.
Oh, but different grupo.
Different grupo, yeah. Different
Bro, how many grupos do you work with?
Quite a bit, man. I'm lucky. Unfortunately, those they're not done yet. We still gotta take the little puff out. Heat them up and make sure they're ready to go. But yeah, that's another one that we work with. And then hoop it. There's a million ways to hoop it. I find that this hooping way is my ultimate favorite. Just kind of hold, pull, and then hoop it.
How many hats are you gonna do at once? All 4?
Yeah, we'll do all 4 hats at a time. And then while those 4 hats are running, I'll come back and hoop another 4 so that when they're done, I just, pop off and then pop in and then do the same thing.
Now, what was one of the hardest things about embroidery when you first started?
Understanding probably like thread breaks and all that stuff, because when I first started, my thread kept breaking. I didn't know why. I didn't know anything about tension or how to adjust it. So dealing with thread breaks and needle breaks can be pretty frustrating, Ultimately, it comes down to, I guess, the type of hat that you use, the thread that you also use.
I got you, man.
A little bit of everything.
And how you learn all of this? YouTube University?
It is the free 99 knowledge, man. YouTube University, trial and error, man. There's a Facebook group that's also dedicated to a bunch of embroidery people that just share tips and knowledge. If I ever do get frustrated, I'll check back in with them, and they're always more than happy to help out. We head over to our embroidery machine and we pop them in.
All right, and what design are we gonna be printing today?
So today we're gonna do a design it's called Chavalos de California. Like I said, they've been ordering with me for quite some time now. So we're gonna get some of the hats done, and I think they're gonna get them out to the people, So here I'll come back in, look for my designs. These are pretty much all the designs that I've done so far. So I'll just come back and look for the design. Cool. So I load that. I make sure all my threads are good. Check my needles again, because I know I have some that might need to get fixed.
So Noe, when it comes to hats, how do you price them? How do you charge? What do you take into consideration?
I take pretty much the cost of the blanks of the hat, and then based on how many stitches the design has, I go based off that. But sometimes you'll get a hat that's probably got like a small design, but the stitch count is so high. So at that point, it kind of screws up like your pricing. So now I kind of have like a base price for anything, so it doesn't matter how many stitches it has or anything like that. And I start off at $18 a hat per dozen, right? If you get more, if you get 2 dozens, I drop it down to 17. And then once you order 3 dozen or more, it just drops down to 16. And then for anybody who orders like a large amount, like over 100, then we do like custom pricing for them, you know. But for the most part, that's pretty much our pricing, and it's pretty competitive. I know that people charge more.
Hey, do you still get low ballers though?
Everybody does, man. I get people check in with me, check in with the guy next door, and everybody, you know. So it's I used to get like kind of bummed out, and I would try to like price match or like beat people, you know, and it doesn't work out in the end, you know. It just they pretty much saying your work is not worth whatever you're saying is worth, you know. And for me now that I've been doing it quite some time, you know, I learned that and I value my work, you know, so I price it what I think is fair, you know. And then before I start any job, I trace the design, make sure it's within the boundaries, you know. You don't want to break a needle or mess up your foot pedal, so just double check everything and then you should be good to go.
You think someone wants to do embroidery, should they get it one head or go all out and get something more to do bigger orders, quicker?
Personally, I started with the one head, right? I had no experience in embroidery. And I think with the one head, you could do a lot. You can offer a lot. You can learn a lot. And with that traction, with that momentum that you get, right? People knowing that you do embroidery, right? I think in itself, you'll know when it's time to upgrade, right? You'll know when it's like, all right, you know, I think I'm getting enough orders where I can afford to jump into a 2-head or a 4-head, you know, or just a multi-head in general. So I think time tells you, you know, when you're ready. And then these are gonna be 3D puff hats. So for anybody doing 3D puff, you always wanna make sure that if you don't have like the start stop already in the digitizing, just make sure that your start mode is on manual so that it doesn't run through the colors and you skip the whole like puff part. So, you know, I've done that before where I do the hat flat and it's gonna be puff, and then it's too late to come back.
How long does this usually take?
This design here will take us 20 minutes. We're going at 700 RPMs. You know, people go higher. I'm sure if I go at 800 RPMs, I'll be done in like, I don't know, like 15 minutes, something like that.
I know, you adding the puff?
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty much our puff. Usually you wanna color match with the thread, right? But this isn't too bad, you know. Once you apply the heat afterwards, we should be A1. But if you're doing like black, I wouldn't recommend using like white, you know, puff material. Just, you know, like I said, stay with the same color if you can.
All right, Noe, you all done?
We're all done, right? So we still got some minor details to do, right? We'll take out all the puff, and then we heat it up with the gun, and then they should look ready to go, you know?
How come you heat it up with the gun? What does that do?
With the gun, it pretty much heats up the puff, right? And it tightens it, so areas where it might be popping up through the thread, it'll pretty much shrink up, right? And it'll look a lot cleaner. So like all these little, like, I don't know if you can see on the camera, all these little bits and stuff, you know, once we apply heat, they'll shrink and then they'll be gone and give it a clean look. Once you get them out of your machine, right, obviously we'll take the hat out. We got our heat gun ready. We have our nips, right? So we get off all the excess puff, right? So you pretty much come in here, get the puff out of your letters. They do have a tool called the 3D puff tool. I have it, but it doesn't make a big difference, guys. But just go ahead and nip all the extra stuff, right? Stuff that you don't want. These little ones right here, the heat gun won't do anything to the thread. So if you have a lighter, with the lighter you can just lightly thread it and it'll eat everything up. So this is pretty much how it looks, right? I'm not gonna, you know, pretty much pinch anything in, just so you can see what the heat gun alone does. But I do recommend that you go in between the threads, right, and you push them in, right? But I'm gonna leave it like that, just so you guys can see how much work just the heat gun alone does. So you'll get it and just go through it, right? Apply it lightly. Anywhere where the puff is at, right? You just want to apply it. And then look, guys, still a little bit here, but obviously once you push them in, look, just the heat gun alone, the big difference that it makes for your hat. Right, to get the ultimate finish, right? You want to go in there, these little ones, just push them in, right? You push all these little itty bitty things in. It is time consuming, guys, but if you're going to put out quality, these are the extra steps you gotta take. Right there. We'll check everything else. Everything else kind of looks good, guys. That's it. And this, guys, is how I do my 3D puff embroidery hats, you know, step by step. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the comments below. And if you guys do need anything, please hit me up on my Instagram, whether it's, you know, for custom hats, you know, shirts, sticker, banners, anything, hit us up. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.